And welcome back to another episode of Underdog Podcast. Good Thursday outside. The weather looks nice. Got the pollen in the air. Got me sniffing and sneezing and shit. Me and my son. Those seasonal allergies kind of fucking annoying. But it is what it is. Kind of makes you wonder because it's like, oh God, if you sneeze or cough anymore in public now, everybody think you got COVID because another virus or sinus infection, cold, common cold, that shit doesn't exist anymore. It's all about COVID. COVID, 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 COVID. It's so annoying, man. It's so annoying. I'm sure most of you guys know already. You probably already seen in the news or hear your friends or family members talk about on your social media that we're getting the stimulus package, your COVID-19 relief bill for 2021, the 1.9 trillion goddamn dollars. 1.9 trillion. 1.9 trillion. And what do you get? $1,400. I can't. Your government loves you so much. Regardless of who the president is. Now it's about the president. These people in Congress, right? The House of Representatives, the Senate, they love you so much. It's like, you know what? Even though we shut your businesses down, even though we told you can't go outside, even though we told you can't fucking go to work, don't worry. Here's $1,400. It's so disrespectful. It's so fucked up, man. 1.9 trillion and you get $1,400. And I guess a little bit more if you got some kids. What is going on, man? What is going on, man? I got a lot to talk about because we're going to do a little deep dive into this shit to let you know just how bad it is. Just how bad this stimulus package, this COVID relief bill, this whatever you want to call it is. So before we even read the actual text, this is the Hill on their website, and the Hill is more of a, I guess, considered your centralist type of media outlet, meaning they don't lean too far to the left nor too far to the right, just right in the middle, supposedly. So it says, here's what's in the 1.9 COVID-19 relief package. President Biden is on the precipice of the biggest blah, blah. He'll sign the shit tomorrow. The package is highlighted by the 1,400 direct payments to be sent to millions of households and extension of unemployment benefits and funding for vaccine distribution. So those are your highlights. Those are your highlights because that's what it's telling you, the American people, get to have. The 1,400 direct payments through direct deposit. Fuck them. I didn't get my $600 yet. I probably won't get my $1,400. And I keep talking shit about the government. I know I'm not going to get shit from them either. It's probably why I'm still waiting over a fucking goddamn year for a response for my disability claims to the VA office. I only need 10%, man. Just give me my 10% so I can give me my goddamn retirement, man. You owe me. You owe me. I'm not asking for money that I don't have, that I don't deserve. I'm asking for money that is owed to me by law. Not my loss. I didn't make this shit. You made it. So it says, I can't believe this. So you got your child tax credit. The bill would expand the child tax credit. Oh, please go away. All right. The bill would expand the child tax credit in 2021, a move that Democratic lawmakers and economists say could substantially reduce child poverty. I can't. Oh my God. How can you make that? How can you reduce child poverty if the parents, if the child doesn't have a job? So in order to reduce child poverty, you need to do it through the parents, and giving parents money, making them dependent on the government, taking them away their ability to be independent, really keeps them in a certain type of income and a certain type of tax bracket. Okay, but whatever. Let's go with it. Sure, why not? Democrats are hoping to make the expansion permanent in future legislation. You know what that means, right? Socialism. We talked about it before on this podcast. First step socialism, then communism. It's knock, knock, knock. It's right there on the fucking door, bro. We're taking in Venezuelan refugees. Meanwhile, there's a reason why Venezuela economy went down. Socialism. Just do your history. Just it's a quick look through history. And this is modern history. This is from the fucking 90s. You don't have to look that far back. You don't have to understand what's going on in the world. Like, you don't have to look that far, man. Those countries that are having socialism as far as their economy and stuff like that, kind of question what's going on. Hell, it seems like majority of the markets or the countries around the world, anyways. It says the measure will increase from $2,000 to $3,600. The credit for children under 6 years old and the $3,000 for older children. Blah blah. Their earned income tax credit, which I'm pretty sure Trump already did tax cuts. I know he did because I got an accounting degree, so I had to take tax classes, accounting class for taxes, and seeing the tax cuts. But whatever, doesn't matter. Meanwhile, you keep paying your taxes and stuff. No one really asks where this money comes from. $1.9 trillion. The people even ask, hey, where does this money come from? What, they're gonna do a corporate tax? You really think corporations are gonna sit back and let themselves be taxed out the ass? Fuck no, they're gonna move. They're gonna leave America. They're gonna say, hey, we're going to one of these smaller countries, set up our headquarters and main distribution and main setup of operations in a different country with less tax laws. Why would I have a business, a global business? Because all these huge corporations, Amazon, Walmart, McDonald's, Target. I don't know about Target. I guess Target. Pretty much all your major corporations are global corporations. I mean, corporations knocking on the door, and that'll be the next thing to take over. But really, they global corporations in conglomerate are in association with the government. It's already corporate takeover. But I'm just a guy on the internet saying shit because I happen to read this stuff that these people put out. But I got time. Maybe you don't. Maybe that's what I'm here for. Whatever. There's fuck it. I'm not gonna read all this shit. Earned income tax credit, child care. But once again, it sounds good. It sounds good, but what does it actually mean? Where's the money coming from? Because they're not gonna raise the taxes. Remember, we're talking about communism, Marxism, and in Marxism, you separate the classes. You have your working class, and then you have your ruling class. There's no middle class. Your working class essentially becomes your poverty class. You just don't realize it because you're dependent on the government. Yeah, you go to work and you work whatever job you have, and then that income is supplemented by the government. Therefore, you can never actually get out of being financially free or financially independent because the government is there to make sure that, hey, don't worry about working. Stay your ass at home. We'll give you some money. Notice how a pandemic happened to bring all this in, almost like it's kind of by design. Crazy concept, right? Crazy concept. I got to make up a shirt that says that shit, man. Pensions, transportation. The bill contains 30 fucking billion. The bill contains 30 billion to bolster local subway and bus systems. You can't even have subways in Florida. You dig enough deep, you go into limestone. Tampa Bay is like 70 feet above sea level. Where I live at in Polk County, in Central Florida, is like 300 feet above sea level. Subway and local subway and bus systems. No independence. No independence for you to have your own fucking vehicle. Right? Shit, what about a bike? No, you gotta get on a bus. Whatever. Which we have seen their revenues collapse with people working from home. Once again, problem, reaction, solution. They have the solution, they create the problem, and we go through the reaction. All they did was they're having a relief bill. They're doing all these packages. No matter who's in office, no matter who's in the Congress or whatever, they're putting all these packages together. And here we are, the ones paying for it. Even though we didn't create this problem. If they would have never shut down the country, Oh, that's right, that's right. Hold on, hold on. I think we're at the 1 year mark. I seen it somewhere on Twitter or somewhere on the internet, probably on Gab as well. We're at the 1 year mark. 1 year mark. 1 year. Happy 1 year anniversary of the whole world saying "fuck you." You can't go outside. I can't. I can't. So, governments across the world saying, "Hey, fuck you. You stay your ass inside because we told you to. God damn it, you don't go nowhere." But I'm fine. I'm healthy. I'm good. It doesn't matter. You're gonna get everybody else sick. You stay your ass inside. You stay where you need to be at. Oh my God! Happy 1 year anniversary. A government saying "fuck you." We don't give a shit about your life. In the most ironic way, we tell you to stay inside and don't exercise, don't get sunlight, and you'll be healthy. It's the most backward ass advice ever. Oh my God, I can't. Oh man, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to make it through this episode. There's so much ironic shit that's so fucked up. They literally created a problem, and now they're coming through you or coming to us with a solution. But you created the fucking problem. You created a fucking problem, bro. You created a problem. I said ridership plummeted 79% in 2020. Yeah, but you can't go outside. Where are you gonna go? Where you gonna go? Where you catching the bus for, huh? When you get on the subway to go, where are you going? Everything's closed down. They won't even let your kids go to school, and the education system in America fucking sucks anyways. I can't. Oh man, I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I gotta stop. I gotta push through this. Gotta push through this. Gotta push through this. Okay. Okay, you got housing. The rescue plan provides 27.4 billion in emergency rental assistance for eligible people. Where's my money at? Where's my money? I'm pretty sure I'm eligible. Or probably not. I don't even know. I mean, they shut down schools, so I wasn't able to get my money from the GI Bill. Because if you don't go to school full time in class, you don't get the full amount for your basic allowance for housing through the GI Bill. So they cut my income in half last year. And now they're telling me I didn't get the $600, right? Back in January. I'm not gonna get that shit because they're telling me I gotta file my taxes to get a rebate. I don't have taxes to file. My income is non-taxable, disabled veteran. So now what? Now what? What? They don't give a shit, bro. They're not even close. They're not even close. You think they're pretending that they care. They don't even give a shit. They didn't even debate this yesterday. I turned on a live stream on C-SPAN. They didn't even debate this shit. I was like, wait, didn't this shit just start? It was a doot, doot, doot. That was it. No debate, no nothing. Nobody really said. They voted that shit right through. Why? You want to know why? Because it doesn't matter to them. It doesn't matter to the people in Congress. It doesn't matter to the government. It doesn't matter to the president. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, like I said before, whether you like Trump or not, whether you like Joe Biden or not, at some point, it doesn't even fucking matter. You need to pay attention because those people in the Senate, those people in Congress, those people, the justices on the Supreme Court, your local legislation, your city council, your city commissioner, your fucking county mayor, all that stupid shit. Pay attention to those people. There's a lot of snakes in this world, man. There's a lot of snakes in this country. There's a lot of shady ass people. There's a lot of people who walk around pretending to be self-righteous but don't give a shit about the person next to them on any given Sunday. Like, look around. You know the person next to you probably doesn't give a fuck about you. Think about your neighbor. Does your neighbor actually care if someone breaks into your house? Are they gonna be like, oh, none of my goddamn business? That's what's wrong with our society. We don't care, and everybody's walking around pretending, acting like they actually give a shit. The person that cares about you will sit there and tell you that they care about you, and the person that doesn't care about you will sit there and tell you that they don't care about you, because that's honesty. You don't expect everybody to care about you, because it's naive to think that we all care about each other. We're not there yet as a species. We haven't even came close to evolving yet. In fact, we're starting to de-evolve. All this fake wokeness, all this, oh, I care about this, or, let's have this, all this tolerance pushing of all. No, bro, it's all fake. It's all fake. Everybody's walking around being hypocrites. Don't get mad at me because I'm being honest. If I tell you I don't like the shit, I don't like the shit. That's me being honest. Doesn't make me a transphobic or homophobic or racist or any of that. All these stupid names that keep floating around, but it's just done by design. You're literally watching a nation fall and crumble within itself in the United States of America in real time. This is the most, I don't want to say ridiculous. Ridiculous doesn't is a word that doesn't even describe it, and I'm pretty sure I've mentioned that before. I, I don't even know what to say anymore. I don't even know what to say. $1.9 trillion. You get $1,400. There's 330 million, approximately 330 million Americans. About 150, 180 over the age of 18, which is your voting age, which apparently everybody voted last year, surprisingly out of nowhere, whatever. So, all those people, right? 180, 150 million people, whatever, $1,400 checks. You do the math. $1.9 trillion. You do the math. The best way to boost the economy is to give money directly to the people and directly to those local businesses. That way, you boost the economy on a micro level. Thus, in turn, will help boost the economy on a macro level. I'm just throwing this shit out of my ass right here, right now on this live stream, which will be a recorded podcast as well. Is it really that hard? Do I need an economic degree? You know, the economic degree that you can't even get unless you go to certain schools. That's how much they actually care about teaching people finance in America. In a supposed free market, they don't even care to teach finance in elementary, middle school, high school, college. You have to go to a certain college to have a certain degree. I wanted an economics degree. I wanted a finance degree. But because of the school I went to, and majority of the schools, the closest thing you have is an accounting degree. So don't worry. School of Hard Knocks. That's where I learned my economics. Reading all their fucking government things, paying attention to all of these billionaires and stuff, listening to what they say, reading what they say, paying attention to how they do different things. Learning on my own, because essentially that's how you learn anyways. It's on your own, through your own mistakes, but whatever. Let me stop digressing like I always do. So it says, which housing advocates will say will help staff off evictions. So the $27.4 billion emergency rental assistance. I want to call us for that. Whatever. Another $10 billion is set aside to help homeowners avoid foreclosure. Yet homes keep getting foreclosed. It's funny because once again, they solved the problem. They created a problem. They literally created a problem. No one will be losing their jobs. You can say what you want. The economy was good under Trump. Surprisingly, right? It's because it's not that fucking hard. It's not that hard. So much money is wasted by the United States government. It's ridiculous. Just my time in the military and the Air Force, I'm watching shit just getting tossed right out the fucking window. We're throwing food away for no fucking reason. Why? Because it's 3 days old. Even though the USDA, not USDA, the FDA and all these other health codes, stuff like that says things are good for about 7 weeks. Don't worry, we gotta be above the standards in the Air Force. Gotta be above the standards, bro. We're talking about food here. We're throwing food away. I remember having an issue with one of my supervisors or whatever. It's like, I was like, hey, I don't want to throw this shit away. Oh, we got to. Like, we're literally just throwing food away. People are starving down the street. Like, there's nothing we can do about it. Oh, you know, contractual agreement, or not contractual agreement, but laws and stuff like that. And you want to be, you don't want to have the U.S. government liable if someone gets sick because of the food and blah blah. Oh, okay. Once again, no one actually cares about people. No one cares about people, man. No one cares about these kids. We're just talking, bro. We're just talking. That's it. That's all this is. Saying, oh, you guys can be wherever you want to be. That doesn't mean they care about you. It means they don't give a shit about you. Because if they care about you, we will be sitting down asking all these people, we'll be sitting down asking people questions like, hey, why aren't you okay with who you are? They don't care, man. They don't care. And it's becoming so blaringly obvious that they do not care. That they do not care. We haven't even gotten to the actual text. The actual text of this relief package. It's more fucked up than you realize. Let's see. Small businesses. They destroy that. Once again, you got to destroy the middle class. Part of Marxism. They already did it. They already destroyed it. They destroyed it, bro. The American Rescue Plan broadens eligibility guidelines for the Paycheck Protection Program, allowing for nonprofit entities to be eligible. It tops off the program's funds and adds $15 billion in emergency grants. It also sets aside more than $28 billion in funding for restaurants. Why would you need funding for restaurants if you, I don't know, didn't stop people from being in fucking restaurants last year? And still, in some states, I think New Jersey and New York just now moved to from 35% capacity to 50% capacity. What the fuck did that do to someone's economy, someone's local economy? What does that do to that mom and pop restaurant who has one or two restaurant stuff within the city and the county next over? What does that do, man? You're talking about not only those small business owners, but you're talking about those business owners that have employees. You're fucking up people's lives and telling them you're doing it because you care about them. Once again, it's such a backwards ass way to tell somebody you care about them. It's almost like an abusive relationship when you think about it, right? So it's literally like dating a narcissist. They're sitting there telling you they care about you, but meanwhile they do the most fucked up things to show you that they actually don't care about you. But you're too busy caught up in the emotions and what they're saying and not paying attention to what they're doing. Oh man, I done said too much shit. my whole webpage is refreshed and scrolled up to the top on its own. I done said too much shit already. I can't believe that just happened. God damn. I'm still gonna keep talking my shit. They'll be all right. Medical expansion. But no, I don't even. Fuck medical, because we want to have medical bills and stuff like that. And this is something that I had to sit down and think too for a while. Like, you know what? You don't actually need to be going to the doctors if you do prevention. If you take care of yourself first, the only time you need to go to the doctor is if you break your fucking leg or something, you snap a bone in half, something like that. You get a real bacterial infection, something like that. Let's see. Yeah, this medical expansion, whatever, man. Fuck this. Let's go right into it. Right into the actual bill. What does it actually say? Because who sits down and actually reads this? Why they put this shit in this background like that, man? All right, so you have, let's see. So the bill started, John Yermuth, Democrat at Kentucky, introduced the bill February 24th, 2021. He's on a committee, House budget, and this is presented to the president, and I think they just voted on it. Yes, yeah. So now it's presented to the president. Your so-called president, your illegitimate president, you kiss my ass. I don't care what you think. I'm just telling you what the facts are. And then, so it's supposed to become law. It's funny. It's funny how all this happens. Everything's becoming law, and Joe Biden signed all executive orders. Well, actually, if the election was illegitimate, what makes any of this legal? Nothing. So why do we go along with any of this? We don't. Everybody just sits back and does what someone on the TV screen tells them to do. Sorry to break it to you, but we all been lied. If you're new to the podcast and new to my content, the first thing you need to realize about this podcast is to understand that everything's a fucking lie. And all I'm doing is sharing my experience with you and sharing the information I learned as I went down the trails and looked down the pathways and realized, oh, look, that's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. That's a lie. Everything you ever learn is a fucking lie. At best, it's a half truth. A half truth. A half truth. You think the United States of America exists? Does it? The United States of America is a corporation. You think Washington, D.C. is in the United States of America. Is it? United States, or Washington, D.C., the District of Columbia, not part of the United States of America. It's its own entity. Everything's a lie. I just like to throw that out there just to fuck with people's heads. 9/11, lie. Wars, lie. Pick something. Pick something. Money, lie. Money is imaginary. They out here playing Monopoly. Fucking lies, bro. Everything's a lie. Once you start to have that premise that everything's a lie, you start to really pay attention to what things are being said as far as your mainstream. Hell, mainstream media is a fucking lie. Don't even try that shit. I just like to call them out because it's funny. So here we have it, right? House Resolution 1319. Oh my God. So it was a short title of this act. So it's called the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Yeah, you see how they, oh, it sounds so patriotic. America Rescue Plan. Who's fucking coming to your rescue? It's funny because you didn't ask people to come to your rescue. Better yet, they wouldn't be coming to your rescue if they didn't fucking shut shit down. It's funny because it's almost like, is it a coincidence? I don't believe in coincidences because a year ago from now, it was 15 days to stop the spread or slow down the spread. And we was worried about having hospitals and resources as far as medical resources being overtaken. Next thing you know, they shut down everything even longer and it's affect the economy. Depression, suicide rate going up that nobody talks about. The CDC or the former CDC director slipped up and said something about it, and then he retracted that. Act like he didn't say that shit. I cover that too. So you have all this stuff going on or whatever, and then here they are, like fucking rescue down under ranger, like no, like rescue rangers. They coming in, fly in to save us, even though they're the ones that fucked us over from the beginning. But don't worry, they're our heroes. We love the government. We love everything about the government. Meanwhile, people in government have no idea what the fuck they're doing because it doesn't matter. It's just follow this, follow that. Let's see. So they got Committee on Agriculture, Nutrition, and Forestry. Like, this is what is in the bill. This is what is in the bill. At what point in time, as you listen to this podcast or watch this podcast, and you see this shit or hear this shit, and you're like, wait a minute, what the fuck does this have to do with helping us, regular people? Food supply and agricultural pandemic response. Let's see what it says. Appropriation. In addition to amounts otherwise available, there is appropriated to the Secretary of Agriculture for fiscal year 2021 out of money in the Treasury not otherwise appropriated, $4 billion to remain available until expended to carry out this section. The COVID-19 animal surveillance. The Secretary of Agriculture shall conduct monitoring and surveillance of susceptible animals for instance of SARS-CoV-2. I thought they told us animals couldn't get it. Now all of a sudden animals can get it, huh? And now they're going to be watching the animals who can get it. So we're going to spend money testing the animals and get it. Because when you kill that animal and they package it up in their little industrialized factories and stuff, and they inject it with hormones and wherever else the case may be. And then they put it to you at your local grocery store and they put it in a little package. And then you go home, cook that shit, and 350 to 400 degrees temperatures. Somehow the virus managed to stay active the whole entire time. Don't worry. You gotta worry about your food having SARS-CoV-2. And then you eat it, and somehow your immune system and the virus still somehow managed to survive the whole entire time. You eat it and you get into your digestive system, and the acid in your digestive system doesn't manage to break down the virus either, right? And now you got COVID-19 because you've been infected by SARS-CoV-2 from an infected animal. Then that's why we need $4 billion. And you might say, oh, well, yeah, that's how it goes. Sounds crazy. We talked about germ theory versus terrain theory. Science don't actually know how we get sick. Scientists don't actually know how we get sick. Scientists do not actually know how we get sick. They don't even agree on it. Science doesn't agree. That's the whole point of science. The study of things. You're constantly studying. If you come to a conclusion where it's factual and truthful, then it's no longer science. It's just truth. It's gospel. It's facts. Everything's theoretical for the most part in science. Black holes. I would say atoms, not necessarily atoms. Because you can see electron. I don't even want to go down that route. Let's see what else is in this part. Okay, the Eggs Products Inspection Act for inspection activities carried out during the period of fiscal year 2021 and 2030. And that's the thing right here, because a lot of things is not about this fiscal year. It extends out to like 2023, 2024. So that's on the agriculture, use of commodity credit corporations, blah, blah, nutrition. So we have the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Let's see what this shit says. Value of benefits, section 702A of the Vision, consolidated appropriations, blah, blah. So it's a SNAP, right? It's your food stamps and stuff like that. It says, in addition to amounts otherwise available, there is hereby appropriated for fiscal year 2021 out of any amounts in the Treasury not otherwise appropriated. Notice how I say it's not otherwise appropriated. So whatever is left. Whatever is left. So it's not even a guarantee that this amount of money will go to. It's just saying whatever is left. $1.15 billion to remain available until September 30th, 2023. They are just going to take this money and cycle it all throughout fucking different things. And somehow it'll end up in these politicians' pockets. Meanwhile, you got Nancy Pelosi, even a Joe Biden, everybody getting rich. How you get rich being a politician when it's a public service thing? You're supposed to be doing something. Hell, you can't get rich being a fucking military person. Being a career military person, you can't get rich. You know how many people actually in the military making six figures? Your 20, 30-year chief, right? Your 20-year generals. Like, nobody's making six figures like that, bro. You're getting shafted. The only reason people in the military, or it may seem like they have some money, because they got to keep their debt low, because it's part of UCMJ. You can't be having a lot of debt. There you go. There you go, your secret. So when you think people in the military have money, nah. I remember my first paycheck, when I had my first base in Guam, shit was $400, bro. $400. I was like, well, damn, I could have sworn I just made more money at McDonald's. $400, huh? $400 fucking dollars, bro. This is what I'm supposed to do with this shit, man. But you don't think of nothing of it, because you got a place to live and you got food to eat. So you're good. Especially, obviously, you're a single airman or a single soldier or whatever, single Marine, whatever it is. Seaman. And then you have no one but yourself, no dependents. So you have no basic allowance for housing. And you're in the dorms. You got a place to live. You got food to eat. So the rest of that shit is just whatever. $400, you buy, I don't know, a Ford Mustang, a brand new one. Next thing you know, you're in debt too for $30,000. Oh, it's a debt society. So it remains until 2030, September 30th, 2023, with the amounts to be obligated for each of fiscal years 2021, 2022, and 2023 for the cost of state administrative expenses associated with carrying out this section and administering the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, SNAP, food stamps, established under the Food and Nutrition Act of 2008. So what people would like to hear about food stamps, oh, we got to help out those who don't have money and who don't have a job and stuff. Yeah, you do. But you're not supposed to be on it for, I don't say yeah, you do either. I mean, there's probably, let's be honest, there's other ways, man. There's other ways. You limit all these goddamn taxes, instead of having all these damn packages and stuff, people were able to make more money at their wherever job and place that they work at. At the same time, you're creating dependency, because why would I want to get off food stamps and have to make an adjustment, a financial adjustment, because people don't like change. People especially don't like financial adjustment changes. So why would I make an adjustment? Why would I not just keep it around the same amount of money? That way I keep getting my food stamps. You can't even argue against, you can't argue against that, but you can see why people would go that route as well. You can also see why the government kind of dingles this little carrot in front of your face to keep you chasing it. Meanwhile, they never actually give you anything. They're not trying to give you financial freedom. They was trying to give you financial freedom. Guess what? Finances, economy will really be taught. And I'm not talking about, counting your money. I'm talking about understanding debt, understanding what it is, understanding what your money actually is, a petrodollar. Understanding that your U.S. dollar is not backed by gold. It's not backed by anything other than the graciousness of the United States economy. Or lack of graciousness when you think about it. Let's see what else is in this bullshit thing. So that's nutrition, your WIC programs, all this other stuff. Department of Education. So as I was scrolling along last night, this shit caught me because you have, okay, so elementary and secondary school emergency relief fund, right? In general, in addition to amounts otherwise available through the Education Stabilization Fund. God damn, where they be? Who sits down and come up with these fucking names? You know, it's some fucking intern. You know, some damn intern sitting there like, oh yeah, this sounds like a good idea. They put on their damn resume. There is appropriated to the Department of Education for fiscal year 2021 out of any money in the Treasury not otherwise appropriated, $122 billion, $774,800,000 rather. So 122,774,000,000. Wait a minute, did I read that right? Yeah. Wait, no. Why am I getting confused right now? Right, 800,000. Yeah. So 122,774,800,000. God damn, I don't know why I threw myself off just now. To remain available through September 2023. Right? It says use 800 million for the purposes of identifying homeless children and youth and providing homeless children and youth with wraparound services in light of the challenges of COVID-19, you know, the problem that they created, and assistance needed to enable homeless children and youth to attend school and participate fully in school activities. And from the remaining amounts, make grants to each state educational agency in accordance with this section. 800 million for identifying homeless children and youth. Wait a minute, what the fuck is the difference between children and youth? See, there we go. There's those vague words. There's those unnecessary verbiages. What's the difference between children and youth? I guess we're talking about teens. You want to know how you help homeless children, help homeless youth? Give them some adults that have a home. That might help. Or are we talking about those kids that come across the border through coyotes? You know, the border that people say, oh, we don't need a wall, we don't need that. Yet most people have fences around their houses, huh? But you don't want a wall at the border of your country? Oh man, double standards. But at the same time, people don't understand is we're talking about a wall of border stuff. It's because of human trafficking, man. Human trafficking is still one of the most major crimes in the world. You know, slaves. You know, the slaves that no one talks about. Why do you think they always distract you with race and slavery? Because they want you to focus on the past. So you're not paying attention to the shit that's going on right now in front of your eyes. So you're talking about human trafficking. You're talking about coyotes smuggling kids across the border. Why? Because their parents have paid these people and said, hey, yeah, I give you money, you get my kids across the border, you give them to my family member, they're going to be looking for them, wait on them. Next thing you know, those families get duped into, because that's how slavery and human trafficking works. You know, people are being lied to. Lying is probably one of the greatest weapons, being deceitful, that human beings can find. Just to tell a lie and have someone else believe you. It's one of the greatest psychological weapons you can have. Because you don't have to do nothing physically. That's it. All you gotta do is psych someone's mind out, fill them up with lies, and here you go. Like, damn, that was easy. Thank you for your child, your money, or whatever. Both. But yeah, you smuggle them across the border and stuff, and then those children get caught up in human trafficking, and next thing you know, they're homeless if they're able to escape, and now they're stuck. But don't worry, $800 million will go to the purposes of identifying those children. Why do you need $800 million to identify homeless children and provide homeless children and youth with wraparound services in light of the challenges of COVID-19? What the fuck does that even mean? Wraparound services. I should look it up. I don't even want to. I feel like it's going to piss me off. Wraparound services. It's vague in light of the challenges of COVID-19, in light of the challenge that you created. You see where I'm going with this? No one actually reads this stuff, man. They're saying things. They're just allocating money, taxpayer money, whether it's from corporations, whether it's from you, the regular people, whether it's from, I don't know, our kids, our kids' kids, our kids' kids' kids. Someone has to pay for this shit. Someone has to pay for it. You ever see that meme where it says, "Oh, United States, or the world debt is something $1 trillion where," and everybody's thinking, "Damn, who we owe? Aliens?" Shit, that's a good question. Who the fuck do we owe? Nobody really. Because if you owe everyone this money and money is debt, how can you actually pay off debt? You can't pay off debt with debt. That's illegal. Oh, no. We'll say that for another episode. Yeah, to let you know that paying off debt with debt is illegal. Therefore, you actually don't own any debt. You don't owe anybody anything because you can legally never actually pay off your debt. It's all a Ponzi scheme, bro. Literally, fiat money is a flat out Ponzi scheme. And they know this shit. I think we talked about it on this podcast before. It was 1933, Jekyll Island, 1913, the Federal Reserve Act. And it took us off the gold standard in the United States of America, and other countries around the world went off the gold standards. And after World War II, you have your Bretton Woods agreements, using the United States dollar as a global world reserve currency. Bro, it's a Ponzi scheme, man, being played out through generations. Like I said before, man, these people are playing a different game than what we're playing. We're thinking we gotta get up, go to work, take care of our family. I'll have a family, maybe get some education, move up the social and economic ladder, and we feel good. Meanwhile, these people playing a whole different game where they're fucking with people's lives in order to attain wealth, in order to attain resources. Well, financial wealth, not true wealth, not spiritual wealth, not wealth of the divine. Not real wealth that actually matters. Not wealth of love. These people are materialistic. They want to buy up shit. They want to own shit. They want to perceive that. They want to perceive themselves that they own something. Hell, they want to own you. They want to own you. Like cattle. You are the consuming. You are what's being consumed. Your data. Everything about you. You think you're consuming these products, they are consuming you. Think about it. Think about it. They create a problem, then we have to fork out the money to fix it. I can't. That's so fucked up, bro. It's so fucked up. What's in this one? No. What I really want to look at was this. Wait a minute. Does that even say just regular education? In general, each state allocate not less than 9% of the grant funds awarded to the state. Let's see. Any activity authorized by Elementary and Secondary Education Act. Okay, all these stupid acts. All these fucking acts. All these acts and laws and legislation you never heard in your life. Why do we even have these things, man? Do these things actually even help? Obviously not, because we're still in the fucked up situation we're in. He said, there's one thing everyone focuses on the president. That's not the shit you should be focusing on. It starts in your local legislation, your local governance. It starts there, which I say, fuck everybody. I govern myself, and let's have a free market. That's really what it's all about. It's all about economy. It's all about economy and resources. Society, civilization, tribes, whatever you want to break it down to. All we're talking about is how do we divide up resources? Who gets some, who doesn't get some. But really, it should come down to the individual. Because the individual strives to get some, then they will get some. If the individual strives to not get some, then they will not get some. Because there are people out there that don't want much. And there are people out there that want more. But really, you should just have moderation. I'm trying to just have the minimum. If I can have a house and a car, what else do I need? Internet? I'll spend money on something else. I don't know, like going here, going there, while we still can, apparently. It won't let us go nowhere. I mean, not where I live at. I'm going to tell y'all, though. Emergency assistance to non-public schools, huh? So in addition to amounts otherwise available through the emergency assistance to non-public schools programs, there is appropriated to the Department of Education for fiscal year 2021 out of any money in the Treasury not otherwise appropriated. There goes that repeated statement. $2,750,000,000 to remain available through September 30th, 2023, for making allocations to governors under emergency assistance to non-public schools programs to provide services or assistance to non-public schools that enroll a significant percentage of low-income students. So now you're going to get kids of low-income students, which, let's be honest, sometimes ends up being the kids are low-income students because, well, they got parents that are not that responsible. No one likes to hear that. I understand that. I understand that because it's an emotional thing. But no one likes to hear that you can, be in poverty because of you. We talked about it before. I think I talked about last episode. As far as my journey, my spiritual journey, my continuing spiritual journey, and diving into Buddhism and taking some of the Judeo-Christian practices, even parts of Islam and religions all around the world and stuff, and realized even what my parents taught me and stuff, realizing that, what can I do? Control the things you can't control, and the things you can't control, let it go. Right? So if I'm stuck in poverty, my first thought is, all right, what can I do? Because for some reason in America, someone can get on fucking a camera at home, show their vagina, and make tons of money. So I'm just saying, it's not the best thing you do, but hey, it is something, right? Better yet, someone can get on camera, record themselves reacting to other people's shit and make money. Someone can get money from playing video games. People are making billions of dollars by putting a ball in a basket. Or millions of dollars by putting a ball in the basket. God damn it, they made billions of dollars. And right now, nobody watching NBA, so they ain't gonna be making that much money. But you could throw a pigskin around and make millions of dollars as well. Why do people come to America? Because they can see all the opportunities that we American citizens don't see. See, a lot of this stuff doesn't talk about what you can do as the individual. It's all categorized. It's all labeling you and putting you into a category or putting you into a group saying, oh yeah, if you're part of this group, then you can get some of this. It never really talks about what you can do as an individual. Education is one thing, because if you want a society that's to be educated, why is education, I don't want to say cost so much when you're talking about college, but I mean, it shouldn't be a nonprofit because it seems like colleges are acting like they're nonprofit, but really they're all private. They just pretend like they're nonprofit or they pretend like they're public. But I'm not even going to touch on that because that's something that I need to do more thinking on and more analyzing on myself. I mean, let's be honest. You kind of could be self-taught. All the information you ever want to know in the entire existence of modern human history is on the internet. So, kind of teach yourself the shit you want to learn. Hell, even Harvard offers free classes. But no one sits and really thinks about these things, man. Because you have to confront some of these emotional boundaries, these, I want to say blockage, but in a sense, it's kind of what it is that has been placed upon us by, propaganda. This is higher education, emergency relief, outlying areas. This is interesting to me. Gallaudet University. So it says, in addition to the amounts otherwise available, there is appropriated to the Department of Education for fiscal year 2021 out of any money in the Treasury not otherwise appropriated, $19,250,000 to remain available through September 30th, 2023 for the Kendall Demonstration Elementary School, the Model Secondary School for the Deaf, and Gallaudet University to prepare for, and respond to coronaviruses. Respond to coronavirus. They need all that money to respond to coronavirus. You know what your response to coronavirus is? Try your best to have a good diet, exercise, get sunlight, be healthy, get some proper sleep. There you go. Bam. Bam. I probably save. I just say the U.S. government. I don't know, $1 trillion probably, just by saying get out, exercise, move around, spend time with family, uplift your spirits, take care of yourself spiritually, physically, financially. Oh, not financially, emotionally, mentally. That's how you have balance. That's how you try to find the homeostasis point in your life, or your body rather. Why do you need $19 million to prepare for, and respond to coronavirus? You know what that means? At any given point in time, they are willing to unleash this shit again, or not unleash anything. Well, unleash the hysteria and the propaganda of it, whenever the fuck they feel like it. Stop paying attention to these people, man. Or in fact, pay attention to them. Rather, I should say, pay attention to them and what they say. Then you'll see how ridiculous it actually is. Read these articles, not just the headlines, and actually read the article. Read through it. You read through enough of them, you'll start to see all the holes in the articles, and you start to see that, wait a minute, they're all exactly the same. Doesn't matter who writes them, doesn't matter where they come from. 90% of them are all exactly the same, and the ones that aren't, they're telling you they're conspiracy theories, or they're far right, or whatever the case may be. It's funny how in the age of digital information and everyone get on the internet and find things, someone like myself is labeled crazy. Because why? Why? Because I say something that the mainstream media and others don't support. So now I'm crazy. Now I'm saying some wild shit. Now I'm a conspiracy theorist. Because I don't know. I got on the U.S. government. I got on Congress.gov and read their information. But I'm crazy. Because I'm reading their information. It's not my fault. And then YouTube slaps their COVID-19 shit on my videos. They're gonna slap it on this too. They can't say nothing because I'm using the government's website. What can you say? I use government website, I use mainstream media website, because if you read it, you actually cipher what they're saying. Or my fault, critical thinking. You know that thing they don't teach in school? Teaching you how to think. They don't teach you how to think. They teach you how to think the way they want you to think inside the box. And then they tell you to think outside the box. Well, guess what? You just thought outside of that small box. Don't worry, there's a much larger box that you don't even know about. You know, that mental enslavement that you don't even realize. You're worried about physical slavery, even though you ignore the physical slavery that's going on in the world now. Meanwhile, you're still caught up in mental slavery. And you thought you were fucking free. Look at you. You're funny, guy. You're funny. This is where everybody going to. The National Technical Institute for the Deaf. And you're thinking, what the fuck is that? Obviously, I'm not making fun of deaf people or any of that stuff, but how much money do they need? Right? Like, how much money do they need? What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? And they talking about they need the money to respond to coronavirus stuff, including the defray expenses associated with coronavirus, including lost revenue, reimbursement for expenses already incurred. Lost revenue? Well, the lost revenue is because you fucking probably shut down the school. Whose fault is that? And revenue? I didn't know a university has revenue. Huh, that's interesting too. Technology costs associated with a transition to distance education. Once again, the problem in which they created. You know where that money is actually going to go, right? It's going to be ciphered. Because once it goes somewhere, is anyone going to actually say, hey, show me the receipts? Hell, you can't even get the receipts on your tax-paying dollars every year. When you file your taxes, where's the receipts go? What was your actual tax money spent on? Do you know? Of course not, because they won't tell us. Why won't they tell us? It's funny because even with the merchants, or not merchants, the design plan, decades in the making of digital currencies, of cryptocurrencies, blockchain, your central bank digital currency, which would be a digital cryptocurrency on a blockchain ledger. So meaning everything will be accounted for, thus eliminating the whole point of even having taxes being paid, or not taxes being paid, but going through the process of paying your taxes. Because if everything's on a ledger and everything's digitally tracked, Shit, they know where your money's going. You don't think they know where your money's going now? You know you got to set up in your bank account where, shit, you don't have to set up in your bank account. You live in a certain city. If all of a sudden tomorrow there's a charge across the world, guess what your bank gonna do? Freeze your bank account, your card and stuff. Like, oh, looks like we see some suspicious activity. Oh wow, thank you for tracking my shit, and you appreciate it. But you don't think the government can access the same thing? You don't think they already got it built into the system? I mean, if I was government, I was in control of people, I would too. My fault. If people gave me the control, because that's essentially what you're doing. You're giving everybody the control, me and myself included. Part of the fucking problem. But let's look up Gallaudet University because this shit sounds so nice. Can't believe this shit, man. I ain't gonna have this, bro. You never heard of this shit, this university and these schools. And the university probably associated with the school. So you have their website. Let's go to their website. Let's see what it says. Oh, don't go slow on me. I only got one webpage open. My fault too. Oh God. I talk too much shit. What we do here changes the world. Apply now. Not your average university. Challenge and immerse yourself. Gallaudet. I'm probably saying this all wrong too. It's the only university in the world where students live and learn in American Sign Language and English. Why is that the only university in the world? Why is that the only university in the country? Why is that, huh? How come in America it's not a requirement to learn a second language? I mean, when I mean learn, I'm not talking about take a class here and there. I'm talking about actually be fluent. Americans can't only speak American English. Cause you go to UK, you go to London, something like that, you don't know what the fuck they're saying. So Americans can only speak American English. How narcissistic is that? That's me included. Oh, look at these numbers. 97% Gallaudet graduates are either employed or furthering their education. The fuck does that mean? Employed could be at McDonald's. Furthering education could be getting a master's degree. 94% of undergraduate students receive some type of financial aid. So they're receiving some type of financial aid, then does my taxpayer dollars go there? Tuition and fees are 38% less than the national average for public out-of-state tuition. So you got bachelor's degrees, anything else, and you have graduate degrees. But you remember, this is distance learning, right? They got some sports and athletics. They have doctorate degrees. Look at all this stuff, right? You've never even heard of this shit in your life. Let's go to Wikipedia. A little easy format, even though it's annoying. So, founded in 1864. You didn't even realize that shit, huh? Here's how fucked up it is. How come it hasn't been canceled yet? Its former name was the National College for Deaf and Dumb. Deaf and Dumb. DUMB. It had that name for 1 year. Nobody, I guess they're not gonna get canceled, huh? Let's see. Its endowment is $183 million for, back in 2018. Endowment is a financial endowment is a legal structure for managing and in many cases indefinitely perpetuating a pool of financial, real estate, or other investments for a specific purpose. So this is how much money they get every year. Right? This is how much money they get every year to help them as far as the school goes. Let's see, is it, it's a private, congressionally chartered university. So private universities are usually not operated by governments. Private universities are usually not operated by governments. What's the reference to this? Wacky Washington, D.C. U.S. Government Printing Office. So this information comes from the U.S. government. So a private, as far as what a private and whatever else it is. Private universities are usually not operated by governments, although many receive tax breaks, public student loans, and grants, even though it's private. Depending on their location, private universities may be subject to government regulation. This is in contrast to public universities and blah, blah. A congressional charter is a law passed by the United States Congress that states the mission, authority, and activities of a group. So this is a congressional charter university. Have you ever heard of that in your life? Let's pay more attention to it because $138 million or $183 million. And I get it. I understand. This is for really, I believe, is actually blind as well. So you have your deaf and blind, and you're gonna need obviously certain different resources as far as or resource tools rather, as far as how you're able to educate them and able to provide them with knowledge in a different manner. I understand that. There's still doesn't necessarily mean shouldn't mean it should cost that much because you have 1,860 students. For some of you, your high school doesn't have that many. Your high school has that many people. My graduating class had 500 students. One of the high schools I went to had about 1,200, 1,300 students. This school, as of 2018, has 1,138 undergraduates. This is where your money is going. The school that's been around since 1864. You don't think this school already receives government donations or donations from politicians, donations from corporations rather? Because you know, the more you donate, the less taxes you pay. So that's why everybody got their own little foundation. That's a good way to cipher your money as well. Wash your money in illegal terms. So you have that. And then you have Howard University. In addition to amounts otherwise available, there is appropriated to the Department of Education for fiscal year 2021 out of any money in the Treasury not otherwise appropriated, $35 million to remain available through September 30th, 2023 for Howard University to prevent, prepare for, and respond to coronavirus, including to defray expenses associated with coronavirus. And so the same thing. All because of coronavirus. Once again, all because of the problem in which they created. I'm not talking about the virus necessarily, even though that's a whole nother topic too. They probably did create it. Fuck you, government. Fuck you, China. I'm just saying. If I'm gonna sit here and play, if I was to watch this shit as a TV show, I'd be like, oh man, the government has something to do with this shit. Government China, they got something to do with this shit. If I was watching this as a TV show, that would be my first thought, because that's a logical theory to have. Don't get mad at me. Don't get mad at me because the shit kind of makes sense. I'm sorry. 35 million. 35 million to Howard University. Why? Why? Isn't Howard University already kind of a prominent school? Howard University, what is Howard University? So Howard University, right? Howard University is a private, federally chartered, historically black research university in Washington, D.C. Another school located in Washington, D.C. Not the local college in your city, in your county, but the colleges in Washington, D.C. Separate from the rest of this, right? Why they get their own separate allocation of money? Tracing its history to 1867, from its outset, Howard has been non-sectarian and open to people of all sexes and races, but it's historically black. But it's open to all sexes and races. Why do you have to say that? Okay, it offers undergraduate, graduate, and professional degrees in more than 120 programs, more than any other HBCU in the nation. Your historically black college university. That acronym makes sense? Whatever. So once again, it's a private university. Been around for 154 fucking years. Endowment, $712.4 million last year. But don't worry, they need another 35 million. Right? They need another 35 million. Even though they had 700 million last year. Their total student population, 9,399 as of fall 2019. Oh man. So they need more money. Once again, where does the actual money go to? What does it go for? You hear what it goes for. You hear me said it. You can read it yourself. Goes for coronavirus prevention and response. Meaning what? The money can go to wherever the fuck they feel like they want to go to. National Association of College and University Business Officers and TIAA. So that's the reference of where they got the money or where they got the data for far as their endowment for the fiscal year of 20, fiscal year 2019 to 2020. Like, what gets me is that I know people think, oh, this shit sounds boring. And I've been there. I'm like, I don't want to go, that's boring. But at the same time, part of you is like, you gotta listen because fuck, fuck. Like, these people are doing shit with money that is despicable, man. You're not telling you where this money going. Why does this school need to get money? You're talking about the most prominent historically black colleges in the United States. Yet they're getting 35 million. 35 million. This is a school I thought about going to when I was a kid. A college. This is the college my sister thought about going to. Like, come on, man. It's been around since 1867. And you telling me that they need $35 million to help them out? Wait a minute. The new institution was named for General Oliver Otis Howard, a Civil War hero who was both the founder of the university and at the time commissioner of the Freedmen's Bureau. Howard later served as president of the. Who the fuck is Oliver Otis Howard? This gotta be a black man, right? Oh, get the fuck out of here. It's not. So, historically black college was not started by a black man. Man, I wonder how Black Lives Matter feel about that shit, huh? White people bad, right? Oh, you can't make this shit up. Oh, no. Wait a minute. He lost his right arm while leading his men against Confederate forces. They're like, well, he was fighting a Confederate. He was fighting those racist white people. Yeah, because that's what you want to believe. You really think the Civil War was about slavery? Every war is about the same fucking thing. Resources and land. That's it. Every war is about the same thing. Resources and land. Because it's hard to claim a part of the sea. You know they tried to. But they have the Freedmen's Bureau, the Bureau of Refugees, Freedmen, and Abandoned Lands, usually referred to as simply the Freedmen's Bureau, operated as a U.S. government agency from 1865 to 1872 after the American Civil War to direct provisions, clothing, and fuel for the immediate and temporary shelter of what? I believe it was slaves and stuff, or people that were freed. Oh, you mean, the U.S. government helped those people? That's crazy. That's something else you don't learn about. In 1926 to 1960, Dr. Mordecai Wyatt Johnson Sr. was Howard University's first African American president. So, historically black college did not have a African American president, a black dude, until 1926. I'm sorry. What? How does it historically make it black? Because the students were black? Is that what makes it black? Because you know what? Fuck it. Let's keep going with this. Let's see what else is in this relief bill. I'm not gonna go through it all, obviously. Cause shit, I'll bore myself to death after a while. But it's funny. I just kind of want to point out different things because so far we have agriculture, nutrition, Department of Education, miscellaneous, National Endowment for the Arts, Institute of Museum and Library Services, because your money needs to go there because you don't even know what the fuck that's about. Labor Matters funding for Department of Labor worker protection activities. Kind of let's see what this says real quick. The same shit, fiscal year 21, blah blah. 200 million to remain till 2023 to carry out COVID-19 related worker protection activities. Once again, what does that actually mean? All this COVID-19 stuff, what does that actually mean? And you're saying, oh, well, they got to make sure that everyone has their safety measures. Like what? Mask? We just talked about the study last episode of masks don't do shit. There's no statistical difference. That's not my opinion. That's what the CDC just said in their study. It's on their website. Check out last episode. I forgot to say that this is episode 100. I should have did something special. I'm not that type of person. I guess if I had more of a big following or whatever, I probably would have did like a giveaway or something like that. But I don't know. Whatever. I wasn't really paying attention. I seen it and I still wasn't paying attention. I was just thinking about other stuff. But anyways, so with all this money, you're talking about for COVID-19, like I said, more masks, more hand sanitizer. We're gonna put up plexiglass everywhere. Like everywhere you go now, all of a sudden everybody has plexiglass. Like, oh, cool. Where the fuck all this plexiglass come from? Plexiglass. I never felt more disconnected to everybody there because everywhere you go is a plexiglass. Like, hey, I can't actually talk to you, man. I can't talk to you. You got a mask on. I may or may not have a mask on, and now we got a plexiglass. I can't talk to you. You can't talk to me. You can't hand me anything. We got to reach around the glass and hand shit to each other. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? What are we doing? It makes no sense. So is that where the money goes to? So you telling me you need $200 million to put up plexiglass and give everybody a mask and put hand sanitizing stations all over the place? Everywhere you go now, oh, there's hand sanitizing stations. It's funny because where the fuck were these stations at before? Where were they at, bro? They're not there. All of a sudden, now you're getting touchless urinals, stuff like that. All these sensors and stuff. Where were they at before? What happens when they break and the toilet doesn't flush and there's no manual backup? Sometimes they're supposed to have a manual push button, but can't touch nothing anymore. Even though you're in the bathroom, you can go wash your hands. But don't worry, we need $200 million to, buy more COVID-19 related supplies. It sounds like a Ponzi scheme to me. I don't know about you, but it sounds like this is how I launder money and this is how I wash this shit and cipher money through these different allocated government funds, if you will, if you want to say that. So, human services and community supports. Human services and community. Child Care and Development Block Grant Program, Head Start. Not Head Start goes about every state. Not every state has Head Start program. In addition to amounts otherwise available, blah, 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 $1 billion will remain through September 22 to carry out the Head Start Act, including the federal administrative expenses. After reserving funds for federal administrative expenses, you know what? I'm going to stop right there. The first thing they said is we got to make sure we pay our administration. And no, we're not talking about your teachers. We know how much they get paid. No. We're talking about administration. Your principals, the people that are not teaching, your so-called managers. That's what we're talking about. We're not talking about the teachers. You think the money is going to the teachers? Fuck no. We know how society values teachers, at least in America, rather. Look at their paycheck. You know what we value? Things that make tons of money. That's why athletes get paid tons of money, because they bring in billions of dollars. And they have no real choice to, and they're still getting crumbs. But don't worry, the person cleaning the floor is giving even more crumbs. Oh, so fucked up. It's a fucked up system. And guess what? It's by design. It's all done by design. And people are like, oh, the system is systematic racism, systematic blah blah. And it's suppression, bro. It's done by design. Duh. I understand that. It's done by design. It's designed to oppress everyone. What do you think? If somebody wants to have a lot, that means someone has to have less. And when I mean somebody, I'm talking about your United States government. Sorry to break it to you. People can't be trusted. But then again, I think we all knew that. I don't care which side of political aisle you want to claim to be on. You can't trust none of these fucking people, man. Why would you? You don't know them. They don't talk to you. Every time they get up on the stage, every time they speak, they don't talk in candor. There's no honesty. It's scripted. It's emotion. It's pandering to your emotions. It's, oh yes, we really care about the American people. We need to have this for our American people. The American people out there starving and stuff like that. They don't even talk to the American people. They talk down on you. Every time they're in that Capitol building, when they're on that Senate congressional floor, they're talking down on you. They're talking down on you. Man, I am gonna be so monitored by it. Department of Homeland Security, FBI. I'm giving all the indicators of a domestic terrorist. You understand that? I'm giving all the indicators of a domestic terrorist. If they ever even thought I had any finances outside of America, oh my God, that's it for me. I'm locked up. You lucky you find me. They might throw me in Gitmo somewhere. It sounds insane, but guess what? It happens all the time. It happens all the time to investigative journalists. You know that one dude, Gary Webb, who wrote the story about the drug smuggling done by the CIA into Arkansas, where Bill Clinton was governor. Him and his wife going to L.A. where the real freeway Ricky Ross. The government is smuggling drugs, and they killed Gary Webb because he told the truth. But don't worry, they don't teach you that in school. You'll be lucky if you find that documentary anymore if it's on YouTube, and that shit was from the 90s. Oh my God. But don't worry, don't worry. One day, everybody will wake up and see it. Maybe it's happening now, so some claim. Let's see, public health funding for. Wait on, man. Look at this shit. Look how long it goes, bro. I'm scrolling. Look how long. Look how much of this shit is, man. Look how much of this shit is. I mean, the section stops right here, but it's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. Oh, you got to bail out the airline industry because you told all the planes it couldn't fucking fly. So here we go with that. Once again, with bailouts, I don't like bailouts. And for those who listen to the podcast, like, oh, well, you voted for Trump. Doesn't mean I like everything the motherfucker does. That's what it is. I voted for Obama too. Didn't like everything he did either. Got played by him. Somebody said some shit I like, and I'm like, hey, I'm not agreeing with you. You're just saying the shit I was already thinking. And it makes sense. I like Trump more than Obama though. But you know, I'm Uncle Tom, so there you go. I'm Uncle Tom Coon, cracker lover. I can't believe nobody even care if I say cracker lover either, even though it's a racist term. That's why I say it because I think it's funny because no one will say it. No one will care. Because the funny thing is, it's not even a racist term. Against who? White people? Cracker, crack the whip, slave cracker, the person that cracks the whip. That's a derogatory term towards black people. If you want to say that, ours is a fucking stupid name. Whatever. I even forgot where I left off at. Okay. So public health, funding for COVID-19 vaccine activities for the, oh, fuck them. Fuck the CDC. Oh my God. Okay. Okay, we're going to click on this. We're going to click on this. How much is this shit? $7.5 billion. $7.5 billion will remain available until expended to carry out activities to plan, prepare for, promote propaganda, to distribute, administer, monitor, uh, and track COVID-19 vaccines. But you guys wanted the vaccine, huh? You want a vaccine, you get the vaccine, they tell you, you still have to wear a mask when you go out in public. But if you and other people who are vaccinated can come in a small gathering. Thank you for your guidelines, but CDC, you can take that and shove it up your goddamn ass. I'm sorry. That's just not something that that's not even proper medical guide. That's not even proper medical advice. That's the scary part right there. It's not even proper medical advice. It's not. And you say it is, then what about the flu? What about the common cold? And if you say, oh, well, we already doing those same precautions, okay, then exactly. Why do you need extra precautions? if you already been having your precautions before? Why don't you make your own health risk assessment based on you, based on your family members, based on the people that you're around? Interesting, right? Interesting that you need $7.5 billion. Use of funds, Secretary, Acting Directors of CDC, and consultation with other agencies as applicable, shall, in conducting activities referred in the subsection, conduct activities to enhance, expand, and promote nationwide COVID-19 vaccine distribution and administration. So I know I did a video on my YouTube and Odyssey channel about Run DMC, or rather Daryl McDaniels from Run DMC, telling me, no, it's not telling me, excuse me, telling the so-called black community that we need to trust him because he trusts the doctors and we need to go get the vaccine. Hey, if you want to get it, you get it. That's your choice. That's not my choice to do. Leave me the fuck alone if I don't get it. I don't harp on you for getting it. Don't harp on me for getting it. You know what? Even if you do harp on me for getting it, that's cool too. Or not getting it, rather. That's cool too. Whatever you want to do. But you're going to waste taxpayer dollars to create this commercial, this ad, and then have him rapping and stuff because, you know, black people love rap. Get the chucking and jiving. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Cardi B. You know, because, you know, group think all black people are the same, right? So if you do an ad for COVID-19 for the COVID-19 vaccine and you want to promote it to the black community, what better way than to have a rap video or have somebody rapping? Because, you know, black people just can't not get enough of that rap music. That's the most racist shit ever. They don't give a fuck, man. They'll sit there and perpetuate a stereotype in your face and not call it racism, even though it's the literal definition of racism. I can't. Oh man. Oh man. People fall for this, man. I mean, I fell for it too before, you know, when I was younger. Let me stop. It gets to us, man, because it appeals to our emotional side. That's why. And when you appeal to the emotional side, you basically exclude all logic sometimes. Once they appeal to our emotions, because trust me, the CIA has been doing studies, and governments and uh, empires, rulers, kings, queens, monarchs, everybody's been studying how humans been thinking since modern human history. Let's go back 10,000 years. Let's go back to ancient Sumeria. So people understand how, you know, before Egypt, you know, because, you know, there was a civilization before Egypt. I don't know if you guys realize that human history, modern human history, goes back longer than what you know. Actual human history goes back even further than you know. Civilization goes back further than you know as well, even further than what the Bible talks about. You know, the shit that they won't teach you in school necessarily. They'll kind of gloss over. That's about it. But you still need all this money to whatever promote different stuff and have allocated for other reasons that you provide technical assistance, guidance, and support to, and award grants or cooperative agreements. Oh, okay. Provide technical assistance, guidance, and support to, and award grants or cooperative agreements to state, local, tribal, you know, can't forget about Native Americans because everyone else does, and territorial public health departments for enhancement of COVID-19 vaccine distribution and administration capabilities. So basically, hey, you need money for this? Yeah, hey, we need about $100,000 for these TVs in our office. Oh, why is that? Oh, because it promotes vaccine distribution by keeping us informed with the CDC and other mainstream media outlets with our information that we need to know. Okay, cool. That sounds ridiculous, right? Trust me. When you're talking about government allocated funds, that's how ridiculous it is. I talked about before about being overseas, being in Afghanistan, and my one deployment that I like to bring up all the time. I talk about how as I make fun of my own self Shut up, guy. But how in one building in the Air Force side, and they have leather chairs, leather computer chairs, flat TV screens. Why? Just because, quality of life. Oh yeah, well this helps our quality of life, so we need this money allocated to us, and we need to buy these flat screen TVs. All right, here you go. That's it. Because the money has to be spent. That's the crazy thing. All this stuff is just saying that, oh yeah, we're sending money aside for this, we're sending money aside for that. The money has to be spent regardless. So the money will be spent. Now, whether it's spent on something important, you'll never fucking know. And that's the whole point. They're just taking people's money and doing whatever they want with it. Because, it's government. The government, the corporation that you don't need to help run your lives. In fact, let's be honest, man. Let's be honest. The real argument we should be having is, do we need government at all? Because it doesn't sound like government has helped anyone throughout modern history ever. It sounds like all it does is destroy people's lives. The bigger it gets, the more destruction it causes. Just saying. That's just history. That's just history. That's just history, man. So that's for public health. So all the COVID-19 vaccine therapeutics. Notice, do you see any money going to a cure? I don't think I see cure. Section 2301, vaccine distribution. Section 2302, funding for vaccine confidence activity. Oh my God, hold on. Confidence activities, $1 billion. $1 billion funding for vaccine confidence activity. $1 billion for propaganda. Propaganda to get you to get the fucking vaccine. Just like I was talking about that Run DMC thing. That ad, $1 billion. You tell me that money can't go to, I don't know, how about not just therapeutics, but a cure? A cure, because there is no approved, FDA approved vaccine, COVID-19 vaccine. There's no FDA approved. They all been granted emergency approval. So basically, we're just gonna push this through because, well, it seems like it works. That's why I don't like that. I don't like that vaccine shit, man. I'm not anti-vaccine. I'm just like, whoa. You kind of rush this kind of through, man. I know you guys have this technology. If you have this technology, then can we rush through, I don't know, a fucking cure? A cure? And we definitely barely talk about therapeutics. But don't worry, you have $500 million going to funding for COVID-19 vaccine, therapeutic, and device activities at the Food and Drug Administration. So the FDA gets money. And so they can oversight the supply chain and mitigation of shortages of vaccines, therapeutics, and devices approved. What the fuck the COVID-19 devices are there? Notice you can't read none of the stuff without having a fucking question. And not a question of, hey, I don't understand this, but a question of, the fuck did you just say? That doesn't make sense. It's not a confusing manner. Since you're not doing that. That money is going to wherever they wanted to go to. They're just throwing a bunch of words in front of it. A lot of generalization, a lot of vague words. And you're thinking, well, you can't be too specific because then it's too much and people don't understand it or whatever. But guess what? We're talking about people's money. I mean, you get real specific when your friend or family member asks for some money. Hey, can I get $20? What for? What you need $20 for? Where you going to spend it on? Where you going to spend it at? I just need to know, because if I'm going to give you this money, I don't want you to just throw my money in the trash on some dumb shit. And that's all I'm asking about this. That's all every American citizen should be asking. And those outside the country and your governments around the world, when they have the same type of legislation, talking about taking taxes and stuff and allocating that government money to some other shit, you should be asking the same questions. Where is the money going? Specifically, where is the money going? This is where, yes, it's boring, but we're talking about people's money, hardworking people's money. The details need to be exact. I don't need to hear this generic, vague generalization. I need to know exactly where the money is going. Someone tell me exactly where the money is going. And if you're not going to tell me right off the bat, then I need a report, not an annual report, not a semi-annual report. I need a monthly report of where the money is going. Hell, and if you can, I know they can, break that shit down weekly. I need to know exactly where the money is going. In fact, you know what? Let me track. Can I track my money? Is there a way to track my tax-paying dollars? No. We talked about this earlier. No. So here we go. Let's have this $1.9 trillion and let's just spend it on where we want to. But don't worry, you get that $1,400. Testing. COVID-19 testing. The testing sucks anyways, man. Genomic sequencing and surveillance for the SARS-CoV-2. Funding for global health. $750 million funding for global health. For activities to be conducted through the director of the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention to combat SARS-CoV-2, COVID-19, and other emerging infectious disease threats. So Ebola, your H1N1 flu virus, all the other shit that that comes every year that no one talks about. All the disease threats globally, including efforts related to global health security, global disease detection and response, global health protection, global immunization, and global coordination on public health. Global, global, global. You know what that is? World Health Organization. What other global entity that they can be talking about other than the World Health Organization? I mean, come on, man. Let's be honest here. Just going to the World Health Organization. So $750 million can go to help other places around the world, but the American citizen gets $1,400 checks. That's what they think of you. That's what they think of me. That's what they think of us. Let's see. Public health workforce, public health investments. Investing in funding to the Nurse Corps, funding for National Health Service Corps, funding for family planning. Oh, that's not abortion. That's not abortion at all. That's not abortion. It says 50 million to remain available until expended, blah, blah. We're making grants and contracts under Section 1001 of the Public Health Service Act. I guess I'll have to open that up and read that. Oh, they got something for mental health. So mental health and substance use disorder. Just talked about how they created a problem. That the biggest issue in this past year has been mental health and substance abuse, domestic violence, suicides. They created a problem. But don't worry, here they come with a solution. And then they want to give you $1.5 billion to remain available, blah, blah, subpar, all these stupid acts with respect to mental health. What does that even mean? You know what's best for your mental health? If they open up everything back up. If we get back to normal. Wherever the fuck normal is, right? If we get back to just what we were before all this bullshit happened. Which is even worse because what we really need to get back to is something that we never been involved in anyways, a free, open society, free market. Open society, I'm talking about open nation as far as the United States of America. I don't know what to tell about the rest of y'all, but there's ways to get here legally. And people get mad about, oh, you got to open up. No, you try to go somewhere else's country and stay there and see what happens to you. I'm sorry, I don't go pitch up a tent in someone else's neighborhood and be like, yeah, I live here now. I respect people's ownership or people's claim rather, because you can't own land. No one can own land. You can't own the sea. You can't own the air. But I respect someone's claim to it because I want someone to respect my claim to something. Golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated. I mean, if you do that, if every human being did that, treat others the way you want to be treated, you don't think all of humanity's problems could be solved? But that's what this whole human experience is about: evolution of the consciousness, of the spirit, of the soul, of the mind, and more or less of the body. I can't. Oh, until 2025. That's a long time for that, huh? 1.5 billion. Trying to figure out exactly what do you even do with that money? Like, what does that? What does that do? How does that help mental health? How does that? Does that put everybody in therapy? Like I said, the best way you want to help mental health, I don't know. Open up everything. Let Disney World open back up. Shit, fuck anything, man. I mean, open back up. I mean, open the fuck back up. If people want to wear a mask, let them wear a mask. You shouldn't stop nobody from wearing a mask. You shouldn't stop anybody from not wearing a mask. Let that be their choice. Mental health substance abuse disorder, funding for the National Child Traumatic Stress Net. Come on, man. Are we making up words? Are we making up words? $10 million for that. $10 million for funding for the National Child Traumatic Stress Network, which is under the Public Health Service Act, with respect to addressing the problem of high risk or medically underserved persons who experience violence related stress. From human trafficking, probably. Man, funding for youth suicide prevention, $20 million. Oh my God. So, one of the biggest takes to get at all this is you think that you can throw money at something and solve a problem. Sorry to break it to some people, but money does not solve everything. If that was the case, you wouldn't have celebrities and rich people slitting their wrists, taking pills, killing themselves, accidental drug overdoses, them being murdered. Cappy. Oh man. Oh yeah, I can't believe I'm definitely fucked up now. Fuck it, man. You got Cappy. I forget his first name, but if you look up Cappy and see how he got murdered. Oh, I'm sorry. He committed suicide. Even though he put out a video right before he died saying, I am not suicidal. But they still said that he committed suicide. Don't worry. Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. He killed himself too in a jail cell by himself when the cameras went down. I believe that's what it is. And the guard on duty were asleep. Or the guards on duty were asleep. The most highly improbable things happen. Huh. That's interesting. Funding for youth suicide prevention. $20 million to go where? Is it going to go to every youth? Is it going to go to, I don't know, youth programs? If you had middle school sports, elementary school sports, high school sports, if you had activities for the arts, if you, I don't know, had kids actually do PE every day. Oh yeah, in my kids' school, only thing they do PE every day. They don't go outside and exercise every day. They'll have like recess, but it's like they don't really like. How does that happen, man? They don't care. They don't care. Meanwhile, they give your kids soda, Coke products, Pepsi products, chips, all these things, the high fructose corn syrup. They'll give that to you at school and put vending and soda machines at school, do a contractual agreement from that school with, I don't know, Pepsi, Coke, whatever. Put that vending machine in the school and then make some money and stuff. Meanwhile, they won't let your kid just play every day. Go outside, walk around, be in the sun, do something. Keep them cooped up in a goddamn classroom all day. But that's also on the parent because when they get home, you gotta do something with them as well. Oh man, funding for behavioral health workforce education and training, funding for pediatric mental health care access, exchange grant program, establishing a grant program for exchange modernization. Yeah, whatever. Continue assistance to rail workers, ratepayer protection, assistance for older Americans, grandfamilies, and kinship families, supporting older Americans and their families. What? Committee on Banking, Housing, and Urban Affairs, housing provisions, emergency rental assistance, emergency housing vouchers, emergency assistance for rural housing, housing counseling, homelessness. They're just throwing money at all these things. They're just throwing money at the shit and saying, oh, look, we solved it. You have your small business credit initiative, public transportation, Committee on Homeland Security and Governmental Affairs. So, Emergency Federal Employee Leave Fund, funding for the Government Accountability Office, Pandemic Response Accountability Committee, funding availability, funding for the White House. The hell they need money for? In addition to the amounts otherwise, blah, blah. $12,800,000, 12.8 million expenses for the White House to prevent, prepare for, and respond to coronavirus. Oh shit! Doesn't taxpayer dollars already cover all that? Like I said, I don't even care who president has done this, who had this in that bill. Doesn't matter. These things are ridiculous. There's so much in this stuff that no one actually pays attention to. For the most part, probably because you don't want to. Because if you did, you'll be pissed off. Wait, what? Appropriation for the United States Digital Service. $200 million. The hell is the United States Digital Service? What is that? Appropriation for the Technology Modernization Fund. $1 billion for General Services Administration. Huh. I wonder if that has anything to do with central bank digital currencies. Hmm. I'm just throwing it out there. That's just me thinking out loud. Which then again, that's just pretty much this whole podcast, right? Cybersecurity and Infrastructure and Security Agency. So they get money. How much money they get? $650 million for cybersecurity risk mitigation. What does that have to do with COVID-19? Isn't that their job? Right? Isn't that their job? What does that have to do with COVID-19? Is that not their job already? So why do they need $650 million? Wouldn't that already be part of the National Defense Authorization Act? Wouldn't that already be part of the fiscal amount, their annual fiscal budget, wherever the case may be? It's a lot of bullshit in here, man. It's a lot of bullshit in here. Committee on Small Business Entrepreneurship. Support for restaurants. How much are they gonna give restaurants? What is it, like 20 million? Where is that? And in this section, administrator means the administrator of a small business administration, the term affiliated business, blah, blah. Again, going through all the definitions of their words because they have different meanings. Eligibility means restaurant, food stand, food truck, food cart, caterer, salon, inn, tavern, bar, lounge, brew pub, tasting room, taproom, licensed facility or premise of a beverage alcohol producer where the public may taste, sample, or purchase products or similar, blah, blah. So that's what is included as a restaurant. How much money do they get, though? Shit. Did I pass it? It's just defining everything. I must have passed it somewhere. No, it doesn't say. It doesn't say how much money they get. Oh, here it is. It says in general, in addition to the amounts, therefore, blah, blah. So $28.6 billion. Hmm. $5 billion shall be available to eligible entities with gross receipts during 2019 of not more than 500,000. Okay, whatever. I've been talking too long. I'm trying to wrap this up. You got aviation, you got airlines, because you got to bail them out. Because why not, destroy that shit? So let me destroy it and come back and bail it out. Consumer protection, commerce oversight, science and technology, the science that they don't actually care about, so it doesn't even matter. Corporation for Public Broadcasting, NPR, National Public Radio, $175 million to prepare and respond to the Coronavirus Act, including for fiscal stabilization grants to public telecommunication entities. So PBS as well, public broadcasting station. So PBS, NPR, and wherever other public things they are. Because you gotta go something with your propaganda machine. How you gonna get it out there unless through your public/government entities are pretty much the same thing. Oh, look at that. Committee on Veterans Affairs. Oh, hold on. A whopping 272 million until September 30th, 2023. Funding available for medical care and health needs. 14,482 million dollars, and no more than 4 billion shall be available. Wait a minute. Funding availability for medical care and health needs. Oh, funding for claims and appeals processing, 272 million. Oh, you mean the shit I'm going through? Oh, okay. So funding for claims and appeal processing, which is the shit I'm going through, claims and increase, 772 million. For what? Just money for them, huh? Just money for them to what? Because somebody sitting at home is going through the information in which I sent them, or the information in which some doctor has sent them, some third party doctor or contractor has sent them and stuff, to tell me what they already know that anyone knows. If you just look at the fucking documents anyways, that, oh yeah, this person needs a lot more than what we decided to give them anyways. So 272 million. So at 272 million, they give me my goddamn money. That's all I hear. That's all. That's all I hear. That's all I hear. Out of all that money, you can give me my goddamn money. That's all I hear. Because I'm not asking for something that I'm saying, hell, beg you, please give me this, please. No, I'm not even asking. I'm saying, hey, you made the laws. Give me the money that is owed to me. It's not my fault. It's owed to me, and I deserve. Just give it. But as much as they tell you they care about veterans, they actually don't care about veterans. Because veterans see too much shit. Why would you take care of the people that see the horrific things the U.S. government does? Why would you take care of them? Why would you take care of them? Let's be honest. Why would you take care of a veteran when you done sent them overseas and they have gotten sick? They've been exposed to chemicals, agents, burn pits, stuff in the food, stuff in the water, all types of pesticides. When they see you prop up and build buildings, airstrips, and stuff in someone's backyard for whatever fucking reason that you claim to do it for, why would you take care of those people? They done seen too much. So what you gotta do? I don't know. Maybe a little off. Maybe all of a sudden they're a little crazy. Maybe we need to give them some money so to keep them to shut them up. Not a lot, just enough. Just enough. Just enough. Let's see. Funding for the Department of Veterans Affairs Office of Inspector General. Funding for state homes. 500 million to remain available. Blah blah. 250 million to remain for a one-time only obligation expenditure to existing state extended care facilities for veterans in proportion to each state cares. Okay. Veteran rapid, whatever. I mean, retraining. All this other stuff they act like they care about veterans. Crisis support for unemployed workers. Extension, Department of Labor funding for timely, accurate, and equitable payment. Other provisions, emergency assistance to families through the visiting program, emergency to children and families, elder justice and support guarantee, support to skilled nursing facilities in response to COVID-19. You got your child tax credit, your earned income tax credit, which you talked about in the Hill website. It's nothing, man. There's a bunch of stuff that you have no idea what goes on, and you're saying, oh, because you don't know that much about government. No, it's because they got too much government goddamn programs that don't do shit. They don't do shit. Committee on Indian Affairs is the last thing in this. Oh my God. I can't believe this. I just can't believe I just read this. Committee on Foreign Relations. You know what Committee on Foreign Relations is? The Council of Foreign Relations. You know what the Council of Foreign Relations is? Think about your Bilderberg groups. Think about your global secret societies, which are not really that goddamn secret. They're right in front of your face. That are sitting there. They come together and they just talk about stuff. Oh, it's nothing special. Council of Foreign Relations, we go there and just talk about different things. I'm sorry, because that's literally the definition of conspiracy theory. Sitting there conspiring, theorizing, conspiring to commit a crime against humanity. The crimes that you really don't know about, Because as they fuck with people's lives, like shutting down countries, guess what that is? Crimes against humanity. And just because you disguise it saying, "Oh, we care about health," all right, cool. I'll give you that first 15 days, right? 15 days or so to spread. After that, whoa, whoa, whoa. Now you're fucking with people's lives. Now you're fucking with people's lives. But don't worry, you have the Committee on Foreign Relations. Global response. Why is the American Rescue Plan? Why does it have money for entities, organizations, people outside of America? Your $1.9 trillion, some of that money goes to people outside America, even though they want to call it the American Rescue Plan Act. Yet they have money for people outside of America. You have $8.6 billion going to global response for necessary expenses to carry out the provisions of Section 531 of Chapter 4 of Part 2 of the Foreign Assistance Act of 1961 as health programs to prepare, prevent for, and respond to coronavirus, which shall include recovery from the impacts of such virus and shall be allocated as follows: $905 million to be made available to the United States Agency for International Development for global health activities to prevent coronavirus and all the other stuff, which shall include a contribution to a multilateral vaccine development partnership to support epidemic preparedness. They're literally they're investing money into drug companies, then selling the drugs and getting some profit back from it. But don't worry, I'm probably wrong, right? I'm probably just wrong. I'm probably just not understanding this correctly, right? $3,090,000,000 to be made available to the United States Agency for International Development to prevent, prepare for, and respond to coronavirus, which shall include support for international disaster relief, rehabilitation, and reconstruction for health activities and to meet emergency food security needs. You know that shit is going to the UN. You know it's going to the UN. It's going to the World Health Organization. It's going to the World Economic Forum. It's going to the World Food Administration or whatever they're called. It's going to those people. The same people with the 17 goals. The same people, the 17 goals for their Agenda 2030. The same people that say that you will own nothing and be happy. That's where your money is going. Those same fucks. Those same goddamn people. That is where your money is going. Even though it's American, right? Let's go all the way back to the top because it says it, right? Section 1, short title. This act may be cited as, quote unquote, the American Rescue Plan Act of 2021. Yet, they are giving you money, or they are taking your money and giving it to entities outside of America. Because that's how much they care about the American people. Now, this episode went on longer than what I thought it was going to be, but man, I knew once I kept scrolling, there would be a lot more things in this act that no one actually asks questions. Shout outs to the people that actually make it through the whole podcast. And even if you just skip through it and find different things, be honest with you, you probably heard a few things and whatnot, or you probably saw a few things if you're watching the video version of the podcast and you're like, oh shit, I gotta turn this off. And I don't blame you. Because it's a lot to handle, man. You're not even seeing me, my face. I gotta get a better camera and stuff, and really a better setup actually as well. But I'm just what my son always says, like, Dad, when you made that look, you just look disappointed. I was like, nah, I'm not disappointed, man. I'm just frustrated, I'm just aggravated. And that's me when I'm playing video games. I'm doing the same look right now as I sit here with my head down and put my fingers in between my eyes and just like, oh my God, because no one's asking where this money's going. Everybody wants their $1,400 checks, but no one's saying, hey, $1.9 trillion and we get $1,400. That math don't add up. If this is an American Rescue Plan Act, I thought I was America, because I'm an American. And you gonna give me $1,400? And don't worry, they say, oh, more will come. Oh, you mean, of course more will come, because now you want to set up a socialist government. And then after that, they're gonna tell you communism. Then they're gonna tell you, oh, let's all just share stuff. When they mean all, they mean us at the bottom, us regular working people, or us retirees, or us veterans, or whatever the case may be, us disabled people, not the so-called social economic elites. No, no, no. Because we see that they don't have to follow the rules. They get to do what they want to. You can't go to work. But the NBA said, yeah, we got basketball must go on because we need to have basketball at a time like this. We do? We do? You telling me you need to provide entertainment and distractions for me? Oh no, because basketball, sports entertainment in general was never about entertaining you, even though it is about distracting you. More importantly, though, it's about delivering a propaganda message, a message that the US government wants to deliver. Whereas Marxism through Black Lives Matter, where continuing the racial divide, actually creating the racial divide and perpetuating it and continuing the constant racial talk of black and white, creating your duality, one of your universal laws, polarity, black, white, spectrum, even though they don't want you to pay attention to the gray and everything in between. All the colors of the rainbow, all the colors of the light spectrum in between black and white. They don't want you to pay attention to that. They only want you to focus on two races, the races that don't even exist, because there are no white people and there are no black people. But don't worry, like I said, I'm a Uncle Tom, I'm a coon because I say these things. I get made fun of for not being quote unquote black enough. That's okay because it's illogical. You can't argue that standpoint from a logical perspective. You can only have an emotional response to it. As they sit here and give us crumbs from the table and tell us, yeah, you're good. You can survive off of this. Remember, Nancy Pelosi said, oh, $600 is more than enough for the American people. $600, bro. $600 don't pay nobody shit. Don't pay nobody bills. $600 don't even cover anyone's rent in America. You understand that? $1,000 alone is at best for most parts in the world. $600 don't even cover anybody, not anybody, most people, especially live in metropolitan areas or right outside of metropolitan areas. Hell, even in your rural areas, $600 will cover your mortgage, man. Like, who are these things actually helping, man? The money is going overseas, going to global entities, foreign entities. Yet it's an American Rescue Plan. It's not about none of that, man. It's about them lining their pockets. It's about them cutting deals with corporations within the government, or in association with the government in the United States of America. It's about cutting deals with corporations outside the United States of America. It's about cutting deals with China. It's about all these different things lining people's pockets in government, not you, the regular people, not me, the regular person. Even those around the world are going to be affected by this somehow, depending on what allied nations that are involved with the United States of America as far as receiving some of this global financial assistance. It's bullshit, man. It's bullshit. I done said enough. You guys do your own research. You make up your own opinion. You do your own critical thinking. You'll figure it out. You'll see the shit. Once again, as always, I really need to record an outro because, god damn it. I didn't realize how almost taxing it is just to say this stuff. Or really trying to remember what I'm going to say. And I fuck it up all the time. But as always, live stream on D Live Monday through Friday. Yeah, I'm looking up early, like the benefits or the pros and cons. I looked it up before, but I realized, I guess it's rewards program and stuff like that. I guess if you listen to the stream and stuff. But again, I guess that's also a kind of a dry self promotion to get people to get into the stream. But whatever. I'm on D Live, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. Obviously, if the time changes or anything, I'll send out a notification through my social media accounts. Check out my website, DamienJackson22.com. I'll have the social media accounts and podcast links up in the top right corner. I also post random different things, different videos, mainly videos, maybe articles. Actually, I usually don't do articles now I'm thinking about it. If it's articles I share on my social media accounts, whether it's Gab or Twitter, really, I'm just on Gab and Twitter. I post on mine, but I really don't. I only nothing other than the Underdog podcast stuff. I don't really post much. But Gab and mine's, I just don't like the way mine's look. To be honest with you, I don't like the UI. I don't like the display. But on Gab and Twitter is mainly where you'll find me. You can check out my YouTube channel and Odyssey channel, which is Damian Jackson or Damian_Jackson, some shit like that. The best way to find all that stuff is go to my website, because if you go to any of these places and try to search me, you won't find me. YouTube don't like me when I post certain things, and because I post a lot of stuff, man, like especially when I talk about COVID-19 stuff, they don't like that shit. It's part of the algorithms. And it's not just because of. I mean, I'm a small channel. I got like 22, 24, 25, something like that subscribers. So why do they want to promote that shit? Of course not. This doesn't go with their mainstream narrative, or rather their Google or Alphabet Inc.'s mainstream narrative. But definitely check out the podcast. It's available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, some other shit too. Video version would be on YouTube, Odyssey, all that good shit. Whatever. You have a great day. Enjoy life. Spend time with friends, family members. Spread love. Increase your spirituality. Raise your awareness. All those good things. So until next time.